Hello there, Reef folks. Welcome back to Craft Aquatic. I'm Matt G. It just so happened that a few weeks back, my family and I were camping in Connecticut, not too far from the border of Rhode Island, definitely close enough to check out the new Ocean State Aquatics Superstore. I brought a light camera rig so I could document my very first trip to OSA, which I mentioned in the last video I really wanted to do very soon. Well, it happened a bit sooner than I had planned, and I'm really pumped to get in there and explore this local fish store that is quickly becoming a legend in the Northeast. So let's go inside and check it out. You are here with me on the Craft Aquatic channel. This is my very first time visiting the Ocean State Aquatics Superstore, and what a store it is. I met Scott Crow, Chris Kaz, and a bunch of their incredible team a few years back while filming a video for the Frag Farmers Market. You can find a link to those videos in the description below. I caught wind of the store being in the works while simply being a fly on the wall for those videos, and here it is. My first impression is how much light there is in here and how inviting it feels. There's a good flow between what I see to be three main sections with some interesting nooks housing different products and livestock. I'd like to start with these freshwater tanks. I keep a freshwater tank myself. I really appreciate this side of the hobby. If I had the time, I'd set another one up. Actually, there's a type of freshwater tank that I'm going to show you later in this video that would be the one that I would set up. But believe it or not, one thing I find very cool is OSA's use of these bright, colorful, custom plastic aquatic plants, and they have a full section dedicated to picking exactly what you want to design the perfect hardscape for a freshwater, fish-only or planted freshwater system. There's something clean and fresh about a simple setup like this. You can keep the light low, reduce algae growth, and just enjoy these freshwater fish as they are. To the left of the entrance of the store, right past the beautiful live edge counters, OSA's extensive saltwater center. One of the first things my son did was make a beeline to this lagoon system which houses this charismatic boxfish. I later learned that this is the store mascot. People literally say they come from different states just to visit him. Here from above you see some of the mangroves that are looking very healthy. The system's mainly set up for leathers and LPS and has a very nice natural lagoonal feel to it. And a little peek under the hood at the sump with those color-changing lights above it. It's nice seeing these full-grown leather colonies. It's something that sometimes you only get to see in a store like this. This is just giving you a quick peek of the main saltwater display here. We'll come back and revisit it at the end of the video. One of the things that I know OSA for is their coral and coral frags. They have some of the healthiest, most colorful and accessible coral livestock at the reef shows I've been to, and the store seems to be no different. It looks like there's a decent selection of LPS, SPS, leathers, zoanthids, and paleothoa, and more important, the system looks to be very clean, free of algae and pest anemones. The coral frags are all chunky and well established on their plugs. This is what you want to see at a quality reef store, and something that is much more difficult to maintain than you'd expect, which speaks to the skill level of the staff here. I really appreciate the pricing transparency they have with their color coding system. Here we have a large tank filled with live rock cooking, and right above is the invertebrates and maintenance crew system full of the typical snails, hermits, cleaner shrimp, and a very entertaining seahorse. This brings up the point as to why local fish stores are so important. My son was here with me and he saw the seahorse. He thought it was really interesting. He wanted to know if we could keep one in our 120-gallon mixed reef, but because he did see it, I got to explain to him what kind of system you would keep it in and where you might actually find one in the wild. This giant blue carpet anemone really grabbed my family's attention, though I wish it was under white light so we could appreciate the blue hue a bit more. Either way, lots of options here for the anemone fan. So let's fast forward back through the middle section of the store. We're going to head back to the fish room. There are OSA t-shirts. I went home with one of those. Lots of dry aquariums set up on stands, over bookshelves, and in different orientations for you to imagine your unique space. Again, I love the open airiness of this part of the store with an inviting couch to take in those inspiring freshwater displays. To me, this is what a local fish store should be, something that invites you in and makes you want to stay for a while. So back in the fish room, OSA sticks to the theme of open air with a garage door directly behind the stacks of well-placed aquariums. This area is a bit tight on space, but still well designed with good flow. My son really loves these golden yellow freshwater snails. We like to call them apple snails. I don't know if that's what they're actually called. There are several open ports to the right of the store where the staff can access this area, as well as a maintenance section for quick access to large tanks and heavy equipment. Might go unnoticed by the typical patron, but something I appreciate as a fan of practical design. There are all variety of typical to unique freshwater fish here, and as we round the corner and head out behind the store, a dedicated area for pond systems. Again, this is something that requires a good amount of knowledge and maintenance to do right, which OSA also provides as a service. There's something so beautiful about the combination of floating plants, koi, and water flowing from vat to container. Just another example of how this LFS does a variety of things very well. Heading back in, we round the final corner of this room to an area that houses the majority of saltwater fish for sale. I see a good variety of healthy specimens of all different sizes, no dead fish or ripped up fins. Each tank is responsibly stocked with plenty of room to mitigate stress. There are easily removable ornaments in every system to provide shelter for shy fish. Easy to remove being key to not stressing the fish out any more than necessary when using a specimen cup to capture them and get them out of the tank. I don't know why more stores miss this simple idea, but I'm glad to see them in these holding tanks. We covered the plastic plant options, which I was never a fan of until seeing OSA's fish displays, but they also have a freshwater plant section, which leads me to this system, the next freshwater setup that I wanted to show you. If I were to set up a large freshwater system, it would have to house rainbow fish like these. There's something really special about the variety of color and the species of fish and how they look teaming together in a system. It's very different than the defined pattern of marine fish, but equally beautiful. In fact, this particular blue rainbow reminds me of the silvery aquamarine sheen of a marine chromis. This giant piece of wood jutting out of the rainbow fish display serves as a platform for some very happy air plants. I can't imagine a nicer or more appropriate home for this variety of tropical plant. The last freshwater display in the store is this extremely clean-looking Discus setup. As in the cichlid and angel display, it employs those well-placed, low-maintenance plastic plants rather than a slightly more complicated live plant setup. All over the store I found reef-themed art, something that I have started to collect and place near my systems in recent years. I found no shortage of dry goods, all of the items you need to maintain fresh and marine systems yourself. Some of the products are OSA branded, such as this line of DC-powered Simplicity skimmers. As I promised, here's some footage of that stately main reef display at OSA. There are a variety of large, colorful colonies placed thoughtfully and strategically around. Every LFS should have a flagship setup like this, and the one at OSA did not disappoint. So we are nearing the end here. Thank you again for watching this Craft Aquatic LFS tour of Ocean State Aquatics, located in Coventry, Rhode Island. As I've said many times before, stores like this are so important for this hobby. They inspire new hobbyists and give us a place to congregate and discuss all things having to do with keeping aquariums. I'm going to put a link to a couple more store tours below if you'd like to check those out. There are dozens of reef-related videos on the Craft Aquatic channel and some really interesting interesting topics coming up, so please do subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. I'll see you in the next one.